Chapter 26. The second she says it, my blood begins to flow again. An adrenaline rush floods my heart. What do you mean? I mean exactly what I said. You're going to your recital. Are you still up for it? My legs are suddenly spastic. Of course I'm up for it. Then why don't you get started practicing? My hands are moving up and down. I want to drum. I want to drum like never before. But it's too good to be true. She can't really be thinking of doing this. Why are you letting me do it? Why now? My mom sighs. Your father isn't a bad person, Sam. He's just very angry about a lot of things. Things that aren't fair, but happen to him all the time. When you lied about the lawnmower and the incident in school, it was a lot for him to handle. She turns to me and smiles. But I didn't realize how much this meant to you, and I can't stand to watch the fire and you go out any longer. My eyes well up. My retinas tighten, holding everything in. Does he know you're doing this? Let me worry about your father. But Mom, he's so mad. Your father has spent the majority of his adult life mad. Another few hours won't hurt him. My fingers tremble and my mom notices. You don't understand how he was the day Dr. Pullman called, I say. You weren't here. My mom takes my hand in hers and says I can handle him. Trust me. You're performing tomorrow and we're going to find a way to continue your drum lessons. Pressure builds behind my eyes. It's the pressure of tears I'm afraid to let fall because I'm in front of my mom and I spent so long turning my feelings off around my parents. Do you really mean it, I ask? Is it really okay? Yes. Can you call Pete for me? Yes. Do I need to do anything to... Sam, the clock is ticking. Start practicing. Okay, I said, and then tear across my room in search of my drumsticks. I find them underneath a pile of dirty clothes and hold them in my hand for the first time in days. It's the best I've felt since getting into the recital in the first place. The good thing about having drums on your brain is you're always practicing, even when your desk set is disassembled and strewn about your room. Your hands are tapping out rhythms and rudiments, and your imagination is dreaming up new ways to make beautiful noise. It's not the same as real practice, but it's something. It doesn't take long to put my desk set back together, but when I actually try to practice, everything feels weird. Real drums have a rebound effect when you hit them with a drumstick. It isn't there when you tap on your legs. Even on my desk set, I can feel the difference. My flams sound like a giraffe falling down, and the double stroke roll sounds like a goblin eating bread. Pete wasn't kidding. I really do need to start every practice session with stick control. After an hour or so of going through the motions, I'm sounding better. It's almost like I never gave up, because in my heart, I never really did. My dad is staying out late with a friend. He hopes he will help him network and find a new job. So I practice until the sun sets. I realize how tired I am and settle down for the night, hoping my mom knows the right way to explain things to my dad when he gets home. The drums in my head are louder than ever, but tonight they don't keep me awake. My eyes fly open the next morning, the day of the recital. I run downstairs, find my mom, and shout, "Have you called Pete?" "Good morning, Sam," she says with a hint of sarcasm. "Good morning, Mom. Have you called him?" "Several times, but when I dial his number, it just keeps ringing." I run to the phone and call Pete, getting the same result. A whole bunch of ringing and a voicemail message that I know he ignores. I try one more time, get no answer, and tell my mom I'm heading over there. She politely asks me to change out of my pajamas first, and as soon as I do, I spring out the front door and down to Pete's house. I forget to ring Pete's bell and burst through his front door. Then I run downstairs into his basement and find him working with another student. I forgot he gave lessons on Saturday. I expect him to scream at me for barging into his house, but all he says is, "I thought you were grounded." "I am," I say. "Well, I'm technically only half grounded now." "Great. I'm glad to hear this won't get me into more trouble with your father then. This is serious." Pete laughs and points to his current student, who looks so embarrassed his face might explode. "So is this. Can I have 5 minutes, please?" The look he gives me makes it clear that he's not asking permission. I run back upstairs into Pete's living room. I sit on the couch and hear a high-pitched meow as a small black and white cat pokes his head out from under the cushions and hisses at me. I hiss back and the cat runs away. I didn't even know Pete had a cat. Several minutes pass and Pete comes upstairs with his deer-in-the-headlights looking student and walks him out the door. Then he turns to me and folds his arms against his chest. "Your cat hates me," I say. "He hates me too," Pete says. "You found him inside the couch?" I nod. Don't ask me how he digs his way in there, and don't worry about him, he doesn't scratch. Pete grabs a folding chair from the corner of the room and opens it in the middle of the hardwood floor, taking a seat. Why are you back? I explain the conversation with my mom. He nods at all the important parts and tosses his tongue around in his mouth like he's thinking really hard. Your dad is going to find out, he says. He's going to be upset. That's an understatement. My mom says she'll take care of him. Oh, I'm sure I'll have to take care of it as well. Not the way my mom said it, but I will. Your dad's not my biggest fan, but he's still a good person, and he won't have the heart to blame this all on your mother. He'll find someone else to take it out on. That will be me. I sit forward on the couch. Does that mean you don't want me to do this? Of course I want you to do this. I just need you to make some promises first. Pete stands up and grabs a sheet of paper and pencil from a small drawer next to his couch. Then he sits back down in his folding chair and begins to write. You will never miss a lesson without 24 hours notice, and when you do it, it will be for a really good reason. You will never show up to a lesson the way you did last time, without practicing, without showing that you care, with nothing besides a bad attitude. You will not waste our time. You will never, under any circumstances, lie to your parents about our lessons together. I will not be an accomplice to your dishonesty. I stand up and extend my hand. Deal. Pete slaps my hand away. What did I tell you about the handshakes? My face turns red. Sorry. Pete scribbles one last time on his paper and hands it to me along with the pencil. Sign it. I take the paper and pencil from him and read it. Number 1, no missing lessons. Number 2, no bad attitudes. Number 3, no lying. Underneath the third line is a messy scribble I assume is Pete's signature. I sign my name much more legibly underneath his and hand the paper back. Pete takes it from me and says, it's a promise now, no backing out. I know, I say. So what should I do next? Do you remember what we worked on for the recital? When I nod, he says, then let's get to work. Right now? When else? Tomorrow will be too late. The recital is today and you've got a rock solo to deliver. And so when we get to work, I don't have a cell, so I asked Pete to text my mom to let her know I'll be here for a little while longer. She responds almost immediately, thanking him. He has 2 more lessons that day, but he cancels both, claiming he's come down with a bug. I can't remember a single time Pete canceled our Monday lesson. Canceling is not a part of his vocabulary. He's the kind of person who's always working, even when he's sick, to the point that his insides are becoming his outsides. But today, he's making an exception for me.